Hello, myself Sunil Ramakrishna. This is basically the advanced part basically of 7 number of PHP basically. And in this basically we are discussing one single variable basically which is getting assigned. In this one of the person basically asked the question. America basically don't have anything basically right in their hand. Why? Because America say that basically our Microsoft is having full control of the world basically. But in real basically Microsoft have nothing. Why? Because Microsoft each and every user controls that is textbooks which is Microsoft using combo works Microsoft who using this whole thing basically which Microsoft are using that basically he is getting from some subscription basically even basically the if conditions for loop these all things are also basically getting from some subscription. If he will stop the subscription he will need. If American government will stop the subscription that means American government is paying money somewhere basically. So they basically might not be knowing basically that they are paying money to this group basically. So one of the person to the if America wants to track basically that from where basically the if conditions are coming, where from the for loops are coming, from where basically the each and every user controls are getting derived to their websites. That is the Microsoft group. SAP is there because SAP is also one of the biggest company of my America basically. But that would be very risky basically. Why? Because if you are stopping the subscription money basically, or basically it might be possible that it's a barter system basically. Because this type of thing basically are not using the monetary system basically. Why? There might be some reason basically. So mostly basically it might be some barter system basically. Give this facility, we will give this facility. And that basically don't have any tracking basically. That only have the relationship tracking basically. So mostly basically Americans might be doing like this. So one of the percent of the if Iran group basically will get the information or Iraq that basically the America basically have nothing. Nothing is they don't have anything basically. Even basically they are deriving if condition from subscription basically. So here one of the person basically asked the question. Assume that basically for loop basically is ongoing and suddenly basically the for loop power supply basically America don't get. Now what will happen basically? So one of the person told that basically have to check basically each and every stuff basically you have to check. I will take one example basically. I have applied basically for the L&T Infotech basically software company. I will display the proof also basically that I have applied basically. In that L&T basically creates what basically in India. So one of the person to the L&T creates pools in India. So one of the person basically from USA basically asked the question. So you are basically asking America this that basically. Do you know basically what L&T basically generating? They are basically into the if condition. They are into the user controls. They are into the for loop. They are into the while loop. They are into what basically? So one of the person basically from ONG from L&T told that basically ये तो हमको नहीं पता. Because he told in Hindi basically. Because he was Sanskrit guy basically. Because L&T mostly people basically are from Karnataka basically. Because almost basically all BE, ME basically works there. Because normal people basically can't work there basically. Only highly qualified people basically can work. Because it's totally chemical company basically. So one of the they told that was no we basically don't know because we are also getting the order from the sub customers basically. So customer basically gives the order and we basically place same order to the other group basically. That's all basically. But if condition, while condition, we in assume that basically LNT created around 55 pools in Vadodara city. So L&T, one of the person from satellite group asked the question, so L&T, this 55 pool basically which you have created in Vadodara city, That is basically connected to what basically? User controls, if condition, for loop, while loop, or basically there's some variable initialization, or basically if condition, or basically the while condition, or the while loop, or for loop, basically what basically? So they basically don't have any answer. Why? Because it's not connected with them basically. It's totally technical IT stuff basically. That also very highly IT stuff basically. So one of the person told that basically this type of answer basically is supposed to be with L&T Infotech. For that basically they have to check each and every stuff basically. So one of the person told that that means L&T group basically are controlled by government basically because government is handling the L&T. But government only basically don't know that how many items basically in this Vadodara city, for example, pool is there, commercial complex are there, buildings basically are there, residential is there, commercial buildings basically are there, restaurants basically are there, small shops basically are there, lakes are basically there. They are connecting to what basically? If condition, while condition. Because software industry basically will not start their infrastructure basically until basically they don't have created the infrastructure in Vadodara city. That means in Vadodara city only more than 10,000 software companies are there with and they are basically working also. That means in Vadodara city, if condition, while condition, where condition, for loop condition, user controls condition, this all basically exist somewhere basically in commercial complex or buildings or basically in some lake or basically in some pools basically. That is the bridge basically. So that basically answer who might be having because this is very dangerous topic basically. Because it might possible that somebody basically asks the question from satellite and then there is no answer basically. Then basically they will say that basically how basically the India is running. Then one of the person from Uttar Pradesh told that Ram Bharose chal raha hai bhai. But Ram Bharose basically Ram will say that भाई मेरे भरोसे कब तक चलोगे भाई. He will say like this only because मेरे को भी आगे बढ़ना है. So he will say like that basically. मेरे पे भरोसे मत रखो भाई. So that is basically because in India basically like this only answer basically you get. भगवान भरोसे चल रहा है. So that basically is not the answer basically. So if we ask the doctors basically, doctor will say that भाई भगवान पे भरोसे पे भगवान पे भरोसा करो सब ठीक हो जाए. They basically never say this. Why? Because they are technically very strong basically. They know everything basically. So same way basically in software industry basically also some doctors basically are required basically. They say that basically भाई ये जो pool है that is basically connecting to this if condition. That also this specific if condition basically. If grade equal to this, that means you have to go to that pool basically. If salary equal to this, then basically you have to reach to that commercial complex basically. And that commercial complex is connecting to that particular city's energy. So one of the person told that whenever basically the materials are getting created nowadays basically it's a totally chemical materials and that is connecting to the cities to cities. So Vadodara pool is connecting to more than 100 cities basically. One pool basically is connecting to hundreds of cities basically. So one of the person told that assume that basically in Vadodara city basically some bridge basically got damaged. So for that basically you are not supposed to repair that bridge immediately basically. For that basically you are supposed to track that basically from which city basically this bridge has got damaged. So some group basically immediately basically repair these that each and every whatever thing basically they have done dumped and everything is done. But that basically break the chain basically between cities and this basically connected to human need creation violation basically. That is human needs basically are getting created in that basically some error basically came. So like this one of the person told that these all things basically you should have one software basically. For that basically you require data basically. And in IT industry nowadays basically everything is data. So in next video basically we are going to see a little bit more about this topic.